Hi, welcome to Behind the Bling. Today we are chatting with Paras Agarwal, who is the Vice President and Chief Merchandising Officer at Orra Fine Jewellery, India's leading diamond jewellery chain store retail brand. Hi Paras, how are you?
Hi Lunika, doing good. Thanks for having me here.
Thank you very much for being on the show. So I'm going to directly dive into a very personal question.
Okay.
We would like to know something about your personal journey into the jewellery industry.
Okay. So I've been working for last 9 years, and luckily all these 9 years I have spent in jewelry industry. Uh, I have been associated with brands like Tanishq, Reliance Jewels, and for the last 2.5 years I am with Orra Diamonds. Uh, so directly after B school, I joined Tanishq, and since then I have been working in different functions or departments. I have worked in supply chain function, manufacturing, and merchandising. So it's been a good, rewarding journey with tremendous learning, and yeah, I am hopeful that I would have made some good deliverables in the last 9 years. Yeah.
Right, because at a very young age, you're on a very senior position. We don't see so many young people at a high post like this.
God has been kind, and I think I have got good grooming at the right stages of my career from the right gurus.
Right.
So things happened.
So how has your experience been at Orra Fine Jewellery? The last 2 years you've been there. How is your experience like?
Uh, so I got this leadership role here, and it's been really good. There were challenges, obviously, because the brand was growing in the last 3 years. We are at 97 stores right now,
Wow.
one of the leading diamond chains in India.
Wow.
I think at per store revenue basis, we would be in top 5 in India
Wow.
for diamond jewelry.
That's amazing.
So to lead a merchandising function for a growing brand, it's never easy, but it has its own fun and learnings.
So if you could walk through a day of your life at your office, being the Vice President of and Chief Merchandising Officer at Orra, what it would be like?
Yeah. So as a merchandiser, you just can't be living in present or future. That's the beauty of this role as well. You have to continue to look into the past, what is happening, plan and execute things for today, and also strategize for tomorrow. As you know, there are these big lead times to plan a collection and introduce it in the market. The market itself, the economic situation is it's so tumultuous. We are ultimately working on products which gets influenced with a lot of economic factors, like there's a gold rate fluctuation. Diamond as an industry itself is having its own turbulences. There's consumer whose tastes are continuously changing. The young generation has its own preference to invest and to adorn. So to look at all those things together and work, okay, what has worked in the past, how to manage the inventory today, what collections, how to navigate the challenges of future. So I think that's where the whole day goes through, and for that I have different functions within my own vertical, and that's how it goes.
That's amazing. So, like, what are the basic season times when things become very hectic for you, and in all of that, this entire gold rate fluctuation that has happened. Suddenly, the gold rate has gone so high. Does any other factors also count, like maybe when iPhone launched?
Yes.
Or anything? Does it all these things factor into your plan?
Both things actually. A piece of necklace was worth maybe 1 lakh rupees 4 years back. Today it's more than 2 lakh rupees. So ultimately, for the same piece of jewelry, customer has to spend maybe double the money which he was spending or she was spending earlier.
Right.
So gold rate has a great impact on it. Luckily, in India, jewelry is still considered as a investment, while there's a lot of change in customer behavior to accept it as an adornment. But that factor of gold is still an investment, has not really impacted the sale of jewelry. There is a lot of product stickiness which we have seen through data over the years, that ultimately, if a customer is coming into the store and purchasing a piece of jewelry, uh, they are not reducing the size of the product or going for a ultra lightweight. Yes, a lot of lightweight jewelry is selling, but if someone wants to purchase a certain thing for their festive function, wedding, or something like that, they're not really compromising on the look of the product. So there is a stickiness which is holding this industry, and this industry is continuously growing. Coming to the iPhone point, I think that's a very important point. These are the categories which has emerged in last maybe a decade or so in India, where a lot of share of wallet is going. So not just iPhone, vacationing abroad, vacationing in India, spending huge amount of money on the weekends in malls.
Right.
I think everything is taking a hefty sum from the pocket of a common man, and that impacts. Yes, that impacts.
That impacts, right? So, since Orra is primarily just a diamond jewelry brand, typically all other retail chain stores have a large component of gold jewelry as well. But since it is absolutely a diamond jewelry brand, your job becomes very challenging, right? Because you are then the kind of jewelry that you choose and how you choose it. How does that process be like? Like on based on what would you choose? Because there's a lot of competition around
Yes.
in and around everywhere that you have your store, and everybody has gold also. And for a person to just walk into an Aura store with knowing I only want to buy diamonds, how is your product differentiation then from the other stores?
Okay. So there were a lot of questions in that question. Uh,
Yeah.
one good thing is, because I have been associated in past with companies which sell both gold and diamond jewelry.
Right.
We always used to follow a metric of how much is my profitable jewelry share? Is it growing? Now in Aura, that profitable jewelry share is my business,
Right.
right? So at least I don't have to worry too much about profits, because diamond jewelry gives
Gives the
good
good
returns for the
return, yeah.
customer and for the retailer. India largely in the past being driven from gold jewelry purchase. Walk-in is very difficult, but we try to work on it, that how to create design language, how to get the right offering to the customer, that that customer walks in. We follow one simple equation to generate sales. That's walk-in into conversion into ticket size. So every decision which we take, we think a lot about these three factors. Is it going to increase my walk-in? Is it going to increase the conversion, and how it is going to increase the conversion? How it is going to increase the ticket size? If all our strategies work around that, we ultimately get sales. Uh, we have divided our consumer segments into different groups. So we have a sub brand which largely focuses on selling to a customer who is the first time diamond buyer. So the price point is right, the design language is such that it's easy to maneuver a purchase decision from a gold jewelry to diamond jewelry. And then we have different sub brands within Aura which works with the customer over his or her journey into jewelry purchase. So while they can enter with us into that segment where they are moving from gold to diamond, and then they can increase their wardrobe with diamond jewelry with us.
Right, that's amazing. So, since you've also been a very data-driven guy, apart from merchandising, what role do you think that data plays in, the modern jewelry merchandising?
I think merchandising is a good amalgamation between science and art. So while jewelry itself is art,
Right.
right? Data plays that typical science role to get to the right outputs, right? So ultimately, data tells us and gives a lot of understanding about consumer purchasing behavior, what is moving, what is not moving, where to work on, which area to more focus upon, what kind of jewelry, what kind of price points are working. I think all these things in modern retail is driven by data. You would be running blind in a busy field without data, and I think that will not lead you anywhere. If you want to focus on your goal, you should know what is happening and which direction you have to move. I
Right.
think without data it is not possible.
Absolutely. So, and I think a lot of retail chain store brands do follow this, but the independent store section still doesn't, is not very data driven. So, I think this is a good point for all the
Yeah.
independent retailers to probably look into more data and probably get more insight on your consumer behavior.
Yes, I think we should not be too much, carried away by data. But so I will give you an example. We have to basically, what we want as a merchandiser, we want our creative juices to flow,
Right.
but not spill, right? Data gives us direction, inclusivity. So we know that this is our canvas, and then we play around it. As a, let's say, as a designer, the easiest thing for a designer would be to create a 20 carat piece. But what it would do if you don't have, as your brand, you don't have that customer walking into your store or something like that. So you should know who is your customer, what are you trying to sell, and how you are making something which will sell, right? So data gives you that kind of control limits, which works in your way.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, considering all of that, could you probably share with us any recent collections that you guys have launched with you are personally proud of, or something that you?
So Orra was always known for jewelry which was for festive occasions.
Right.
And likely uh, because of changing consumer preferences, we delved into two ends of the spectrum of jewelry purchase. We have launched a sub brand called Solace, which deals into the everyday jewelry. So for all age groups.
So, is it like a probably like a carrot lane, or is it what price category is that?
So the prices are anywhere from 10,000 rupees to a lakh.
Okay.
The idea is to create designs which have soft expression. So there is something called bold expression and soft expression. So Orra believes in creating jewelry pieces which you never get bored of, which are standout pieces, but they don't stand out so much that you don't want to wear it again after wearing it to the occasion. So if you are, working women, the kind of designs which goes well with your working attire, whether it's modern or traditional wear, which gives you unique identity, but not ultra flamboyant in that sense, right? So we cater to both younger and mature audience with this sub brand. We already had a, flamboyant brand for younger audience where we focus on bold expression, which was desired. But with this Solace coming in, we want to enter into the lives of young girls, working women, housewives, and everyone into their daily routine. So, they always carry a piece of Orra with them. While we were capturing this side of the spectrum, we also wanted to focus on the other side of the spectrum, which is into, wedding jewelry and entry side of bridal wear. So that's one more collection we launched called Ekta last year, and we have done 3 renditions of it in last 1 year. So now, we have jewelry for all occasions for everyone. Yes.
Okay, that's a good product mix to have. Now, a very controversial question.
Okay.
So, what are your views on this whole lab-grown diamonds and their impact on the industry? Because I believe Orra also had a lab-grown jewelry brand at some point. So, what are your views on that? Of having it probably within your store or having a separate store? What are your views on generally the whole lab-grown?
The hottest topic in jewelry industry these days, what and how lab-grown is going to turn out.
Right.
I think there's this question is there since I think 2017, 2018 when lab-grown started making an impact, particularly in US market. We have some clarity how it is turning out in India right now. So I'll try to explain this from my point of view, keeping different perspectives. So for consumer, 100% any extra choice is good because consumer likes to have choices.
Right.
Now they don't want to be bounded. They want to decide for themselves what they want, for what price point they want. So for them, there were already options of diamond lookalikes, American Diamond, Swarovski, CC and all, Mosenites. So that was one segment, and then there were natural diamonds, right? With lab grown coming in, there is an option in middle. So for consumer, there are a lot of options. So they can make their own conscious choice to purchase. Having said that, generally how a diamond was considered for a jewelry purchase was that I have achieved something in life, I want to have a diamond jewelry, piece of jewelry. So basically, diamond jewelry has always been taken as a piece of jewelry which is used for commemorating a special occasion. Now, there is no value you can put to commemorate the occasion, and that's how the diamond demand was there across the world. So would a lot of consumers want to celebrate their special occasions with lab grown is a question, and every consumer will take its own decision. Second, you know India is known for jewelry products. A solitaire market is very limited. The question which was in everyone's mind for lab grown diamond was that with the incoming of lab grown diamonds in India, would jewelry prices or diamond prices go down? Because that would result into a chaos. That has not happened. Lab grown is in the mainstay from last 5 years. From a consumer point of view, from a retailer point of view, diamond prices have only gone up and not gone down. Only in the solitaire section we have seen prices going down, but for consumer, even if they have purchased jewelry from an investment point of view, ultimately both gold and diamond prices have increased for them. So for them, it makes no problem that okay, I have lost something by purchasing diamond jewelry, right? So if that has not happened, then the value has not diminished for the owners of diamond jewelry.
And meanwhile, lab grown prices have gone
have
seriously
crashed
down
in last 3 years. So if you have purchased a natural diamond jewelry product in 2018, it's worth maybe 1.7x right now, even if you go back to sell that. If you would have purchased a lab grown product in 2019, the prices have crashed. There is some stability because of gold, that's all. Now, coming to seller point of view, the goal of the business is to sell and make money. Diamond followed always the exponential pricing. The sizes will go up, the price will increase, both from a production or a manufacturing point of view to the end consumer pricing point of view. In come the lab grown diamonds with a flat production cost. So the advantage for all the retailers back then was that you are getting a raw material at flat cost and you can still charge some exponential or at least the upward looking curve for pricing. But what happens with every man-made thing, the supply becomes infinite. With the supply becoming infinite, that retail upward looking pricing or exponential pricing was not possible. In fact, it became downward pricing. So for lab grown in today's market, small 10 cents diamond per carat rate would be higher than a 1 carat lab grown diamond per carat, right?
It is.
So with that, the prices of diamond crashed. You are still putting gold into the product, right?
And the labor is the same.
And the labor is there. So ultimately, you don't make money on gold. So what happens is, it is not making profitable sense largely for a retailer if you're putting lab grown diamond with gold.
Right.
Now, if you want to replace this metal with silver or something else, then you are as good as
fashion jewelry,
Swarovski or other things. So these are different perspectives. Still, it's in the initial stages in India, lab grown jewelry penetration. So a lot of things we will come to know in a coming year or so. But what we have seen is that natural diamond sales have only increased and increased in double digits over the last 2-3 years. So yes, there is an impact, but
there is no disruption.
There is no disruption, at least in Indian market, which is driven largely by the small diamonds.
Right. I think this was a very, very insightful and I think very bang on view that you had. And so tell me, since you are a professional in the industry and not a direct retailer, and your journey has been different, right? You've not been to a design school, or you were an engineering student, as what I gather. And then you've done your master's, you've done your MBA from IIT. So after that, being in a jewelry industry, so if a professional wants to enter the industry, what would be your advice to them? Like if somebody wants to enter the luxury business, what would you be your advice to what is the path that one could take, like a young professional or a young person who's planning to do something in the industry should
So
take?
it depends on the department of jewelry industry. So there are a lot of functions in jewelry industry as well, particularly merchandising or design. So design function is certainly something where you need to know how design creation works, but you should have a design aesthetics, not necessarily jewelry designing. You should have design aesthetics. For merchandising in particular, obviously you should have a design sense,
Right.
right? Because one strong pillar of merchandising is
Is
to
design.
finalize what products you want to offer to the customer. That sense can also be understood by getting a lot of feedback from people for whom you are trying to sell the jewelry. Like there are techniques like Delphi method and all, where you can give your output to a lot of focus groups, expert groups, and understand what might work on the flow.
Right.
Merchandising is a lot about data. So you should understand
Data.
and have a knack for understanding data, make decisions out of it. Uh, in this tumultuous economy and economic factors, I think supply chain understanding also is very crucial, because you are not dealing with a product which is 10 rupees, which
Right.
may be worth 10 lakh rupees, right?
Right.
So understanding inventory, understanding forecasting, and all those things also become very crucial.
So I think a more balance of so if somebody wants to take a career in a more technical part of the retail, I think the technical aspects are very important, and for the merchandising, I think the design and aesthetics and those things matter along with data. So
Along with
merchandising
data,
is not just about design; it's also a lot
it's
about
art and science. Ultimately, while yes, jewelry is art, right?
right.
It's also science. A diamond which is put in jewelry is all science. We would have studied this in school
School, right.
about reflection, refraction, about
Right.
on the same properties diamond work, even diamond pricing work on the same properties, how much
Right.
light it is reflecting, how much light it is refracting,
Right.
how the light is bouncing. I think these things matter a lot. So even diamond is technical. How you are creating the product, it's very scientific driven right now,
Right.
the whole process of
Processes.
design development. So these days science is there in every aspect of what you do.
Right.
Yes, but obviously the bend of mind towards picking the right design is also very crucial.
Right. Since you've studied consumer behavior for the last 9 years, do you still think that in India, abhi bhi the buying pattern is looking at jewelry as a more store of value, or do you think watches and other accessories have obviously watches also people these days, because men don't have any jewelry to go to,
Okay.
right?
Huh.
They're typically their accessories are a brooch and a watch and maybe a tie pin. I don't see men wearing a lot of jewelry. What is your take on this? Like, you think more and more men are getting interested in wearing jewelry? Have you guys created something especially for men?
So data says that women might purchase 4 items a year of jewelry, and men purchase maybe 4 items of jewelry in his whole lifetime. This is what data says, at least for Indian consumer.
Right.
Largely, men jewelry purchase is around their marriage.
Right.
A lot of it is in gifting space also, but largely chains, gold rings, and other things and bracelets are the categories which have traditionally worked for men. But as Indian men are also being exposed to outside world, they are traveling, they are accessing internet, they also want to accessorize jewelry. Diamond brooches are in big trend
Big
right
trend
now.
right
A lot of celebrities and men prefer to have studs.
Right.
Engagement rings have got diamonds into it. Platinum is a category which works largely for men,
Men,
right?
right.
So there is a anomaly in jewelry industry with platinum.
Right.
Platinum is a category where 80% sales are around men, right? And that's how the whole platinum is being promoted as well. But so men's jewelry share has been increasing. The growth might have been slow in the past, but I think it will increase in future.
Right. So what is next for Orra under your leadership? What are your next big plans for the company?
So
Because I mean, you guys are growing exponentially. I think
yes.
from last year, you guys were at 60 stores and now you're at almost 100 stores
Almost
this year.
100, yes.
So that is like a big jump under your leadership. So it has been like a huge change, I'm sure, for you, and a challenge as well. So what is the next big thing? What are the plans? What are you guys going to do?
I don't want to disclose everything. A lot of jewelry purchase happens in tier 2 towns also in India. So I think that's the area where we would be focusing next to increase our footprint, and their preferences, jewelry preferences also might differ. So a lot of action is happening behind the curtains to fulfill the desire of common man.
All the behind the bling is happening at Orra.
Yes.
Okay. So with that, we are going to now dive into our rapid fire round,
Okay.
which is called a quick bling buzz.
Should I be scared?
No, you shouldn't be scared. Just think fast.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll start the rapid fire. One piece of jewelry you believe every woman should own.
A piece from Orra.
Dream celebrity to wear an Orra piece.
Every celebrity should wear an Orra piece.
Come on, give me one name. Like one celebrity you think that's your dream. It's not for the brand.
Yes. No, I think I truly believe that the kind of jewelry we have
It's
given
for
up.
everyone.
It's for everyone. Or we have tried a lot of pieces with different celebrities in the past. They just love Orra.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
why
of
not?
course. All celebrities love Orra. I mean,
Yes.
you guys have had all the big names associated with you. My personal, I would probably want Sharmila Tagore to wear my piece of jewelry.
We have classic jewelry line which will fit exactly to
Right,
such
right.
patterns.
We should do something like
Yes.
that. Okay, a jewelry trend that you think is overrated.
I personally feel modular jewelry is overrated. That thing
It's a
in
clickbait,
future.
I think.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, so I think that's a little overrated thing basis our consumer research.
Right. If not jewelry industry, what would you be doing?
I can't think of anything other than this. It's been 9 years and it's been rewarding, so why not continue?
Okay. If you could only wear one jewelry piece for life, what would it be?
For me, my engagement ring.
Oh, you've been recently married, of course, and you've had a baby girl as well. Congratulations for that. Most exciting part of being a merchandiser?
Merchandising is at the center of this business because ultimately customer is going to interact with product, right? And it's expensive product without having much of utility value, but having much of investment and adornment value. So every decision a jewelry brand makes, either from marketing, from retail, from business expansion to technology, everything revolves around merchandising. So I love that.
Amazing. A piece of jewelry that never goes out of style.
I think in India, jewelry is about timeless beauty, and what we have seen is continuously the trend goes back to what even our great grandmothers were wearing. So I don't think Indian design language goes out of style.
What is the first thing you notice about a new design?
Can it sell?
What is the first thing you notice about a woman when you see her?
I want to say her jewelry.
Okay, that was candid. And with this, I think we have finished our rapid fire round. No, I have more questions.
Okay.
Okay, describe your job in 3 words.
Kanto ka Taj.
Okay, I'm definitely going to use that. Your favorite Orra collection so far?
Firdaus, inspired by the Mughal gardens and
That whole
Persian
color stone.
architecture. Yes.
Yeah, the whole color stone thing. Yes, even I think I love that too. Quick, choose one. Sustainability or luxury?
Sustainable, affordable luxury.
Oh, interesting. What was the first piece of jewelry you ever bought?
A pendant set for my mom when I
Aw.
got my internship money.
Oh, that is very sweet. And she still has it, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Modern or traditional designs? What sells better at Orra?
Traditional motifs with a modern twist.
Okay. Jewelry for love or for investment?
Love.
Awesome. This now you've done really well in the rapid fire round. I think you deserve the hamper.
Oh, there is no competition.
Since you've
looks
done
like
so
a heavy
well,
hamper.
yes, it
Yeah.
is a heavy hamper. Here
Thank
you
you.
go.
Thank you. But I think, Lunika, very candidly, I think this is a great concept thing, because as we know, gems and jewelry industry is a very big contributor in GDP of India. I think this year the industry should do around 4.55 lakh crores of business across the year. Yet there are a lot of doubts consumers have around what goes behind jewelry, why jewelry is so expensive, why diamonds are so expensive. Ultimately, I'm purchasing gold jewelry. Why should I pay labor? Why should I pay making charges? I think uh, jewelry is a creation of sweat and hard work and love from us retailers and manufacturers. So people should also know things behind it. People are aware what goes behind FMCG. There are a lot of TV shows and everything, but I think jewelry is still in a nascent stages, where people know jewelry but they don't know what goes behind it. I think these sessions with the industry stalwarts. I am a nobody, but I'm sure more stalwarts would be coming. I think people would get to know a lot of things. So, yeah, all the best
Thank you so
and
much.
best wishes for Behind the Bling.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being on this show.
you.
It was a great,
Thank you
great,
for having
great
me.
pleasure.